Hello, I'm Pastor Ralph, and something I like, maybe you like them too, are good books and good stories. So I have a book I want to share with you over these next few days or weeks. They are a collection of stories by Max Lucado and Ron DiCianni, and they're called Tell Me the Secrets, Treasures for Eternity. And so in this book, there's stories of some children who, well, they learned some things from one of their neighbors. So we're going to start with the first part. So here we go. And the first chapter, we're going to read about half of it today, and we'll read half tomorrow, and then we have a story. But we're going to start with the Shadow House. At first, Landon thought he could catch the baseball before it hit the ground. But after a few steps, he knew there was no way. Eric had slammed it high into the sky, higher than any of them had ever hit a ball before. Landon just stopped and stared as the ball crashed through the window of the house all the kids feared, the Shadow House. No one he knew ever went near the place. Kids said that some people saw lights in the house at night. No one knew for sure. No one knew because no one got close. It loomed at the end of the street like a haunted castle. Eric caught up with Landon and stood beside him. "Where'd the ball go?" he panted. Landon pointed at a broken window on the second floor. Somewhere behind it, on a dusty floor littered with broken glass, was the baseball. Landon's baseball. His brand new baseball. The ball his dad caught last week at a professional baseball game. He couldn't go home without it. The boys stared at the old house. It was eerie. Tall oak trees, gray peeling paint, loose shingles, dangling shutters. A disconnected drain pipe leaned forward. Some windows were cracked and others boarded shut. The waist-high picket fence was nearly buried in tall grass and weeds. "We're in big trouble now." The voice was Shannon's, Landon's little sister. She was only 9, but could throw a strong fastball, and she had a good glove. So Eric and Landon always included her when they played. Besides, there weren't too many kids in the neighborhood. Most families with children lived out in the suburbs, but Eric and Landon lived in the center of town, an old section with old houses, some pretty, some scary, like the Shadow House. "Wow," Eric sighed, looking at the broken window. "That would have been out of the park at Gerson's Field." "Yeah, but this isn't Gerson's Field, and you're not in a game. This is the Shadow House, and you're in deep trouble." Landon and Eric were both 12, but their age was the only thing they had in common. Eric was tall and athletic. Landon was short and skinny. Eric always wore a baseball hat and carried his glove. Landon wore glasses and carried a book. If there had been more kids in the neighborhood, the two might never have met. But since there weren't, Eric and Landon were stuck with each other. Over the years, they'd become friends. The friendship had helped them both. Eric had learned how to run a computer, and Landon had learned where to buy baseball cards at the mall, a place both would rather have been at this moment. "Someone has to go up there," Shannon said, knowing that out of the 3 it wouldn't be her. "What if we just forgot the ball?" Eric asked. "We can't do that. It's a new ball. Besides, we broke a window. We've got to go up there and get it." "We?" Eric and Shannon questioned at the same time. "Yes, we," Landon explained. "Shannon threw it and Eric hit it, and I'm the oldest." Landon was only 2 months older than Eric, but it was enough to make him feel important, especially since he was the shorter of the two. This time, Eric didn't mind the reminder. "Well, since you are older, you go by yourself." No way, Eric. We're all going. Landon looked up at Eric and down at Shannon. Then Shannon and Eric looked at each other. All right, they groaned. The wooden gate of the picket fence creaked as Landon pulled it open. The three gulped and stepped into the yard of the shadow house. Porch boards groaned beneath their feet as they approached the door. Hope the door is unlocked, Shannon said. Shh, cautioned the boys. They hoped it wasn't. It was. The screen door creaked, the iron doorknob squeaked, and a musty smell met Landon as he opened the door. He looked back at the others and then stepped inside. A shaft of light from a side window fell across sheet-draped furniture and landed at the base of a large stone hearth. 3 sets of wide eyes peered into the semi-darkness. Is it vacant? Eric whispered. I certainly hope so, Landon answered. Look, here is a kitchen, Shannon said aloud. Shh, the boys responded. She didn't hear them. She was already inside, staring at the large cabinets and high ceilings. Wow, this place is old. Shannon, come back, Landon whispered as loudly as he could. He was still near the entryway. Let's come back later with Dad. He was just about to tell Eric to go get Shannon when he saw a hat and jacket hanging on the wall by the kitchen door. Neither was dusty. The house was old, but the hat and coat weren't. He swallowed hard. Somebody is here, he said in a low voice. But no one heard him. Shannon was still in the kitchen, and Eric was... Eric? Eric? Oh boy, Eric's gone. His thoughts began to race. I'll run home. No, I can't abandon Eric and Shannon. I'll scream. Now, that would only tell the hat and coat man we're here. I could, but he couldn't think of another idea. He didn't have to. Suddenly, a hand was on his shoulder. He whirled around. Sunlight from the doorway washed over the back of the man. His features were hidden in the shadow, but his size wasn't. He was big and tall, and his hand was huge, and his hand was still on Landon's shoulder. His other hand was tossing a ball in the air. Looking for this? Did that story scare you at all? Do you ever hear stories and sometimes they frighten you? I know sometimes stories can be frightening. Sometimes we get frightened when we've done something, and it may not be something really bad. We may not have even intended to do it. Eric, he didn't mean to hit the ball into the house. Shannon, Landon, they didn't mean to. But suddenly, here they were in the house. A house they thought might have been abandoned or emptied, but it wasn't. Somebody was there. What do you think will happen next? Do you think the man is a kind man, or is he a scary man? Is he an angry man? Well, when we come back together next time, we'll find out more. So I hope you like this story, and I hope you like looking forward to new stories. And we're just going to leave it here, kind of a cliffhanger. What will happen next? Well, we'll see soon enough. Okay, bye-bye.